We're in the streets every day. We follow the stories everywhere, from every corner in Liberia. We bring you what's making headlines. We keep you connected with news you can trust. Please listen at 7 p.m. every weekdays for Freedom Evening News Basket. We're in the streets every day. We follow the stories everywhere, from every corner in Liberia. We bring you what's making headlines. We keep you connected with news you can trust. Please listen at 7 p.m. every weekdays for Freedom Evening News Basket.
From the News and Current Affairs Department of Freedom Communications Incorporated, good evening and pleasant welcome to Freedom Living News Basket for the 5 minutes presentation of news from Liberia and across the globe. Today is Wednesday, the 8th of November 2023. My name is Alexander Nyeneken anchoring. Headlines and major stories we're carrying this evening. Foreign Affairs Ministry refutes and terms Wayne Cummins Wilson's video claims making rounds on social media as false and politically motivated. The movement for the protection of integrity in Liberia calls on the Liberia Council of Churches, National Traditional Council of Liberia, and all civil society organizations to probe into issue of Max Deville's involvement in electoral matters in Plibu, Maryland County. Unity Party, that's the grassroots development movements of Edward Appleton's endorsement of Unity Party backfires as the national chairman of the party endorsed President George Weah for the second term in the runoff election and distanced himself from the decision of the political leader of GDM. And away from home, Nigerian men killed in texts on a bulletproof charm, as according to the BBC. The details of this, including the news bulletin, the voices behind the news, spokes, foreign developments, are all packaged in this presentation. First, the news bulletin with Stephen Compton.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has refuted a video circulating on social media of murdered Wayne Cummins Wilson, former intern at the permanent mission of Liberia to the United Nations in New York, that is making round on social media, in which Madam Wilson claims to be an employee of the mission. In a release issue in Monrovia, the ministry said Madam Wayne Cummins Wilson is spreading falsehood that she is an employee of the permanent mission and that she is being witch-hunted by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dimas Rekimia. According to the release, Madam Wayne Cummins Wilson was never an employee of the permanent mission of the Republic of Liberia to the United Nations. Instead, she was a training to learn more about the United Nations system, where she desired to seek a further career according to her repeated vocal expressions. The ministry in the release further indicated that the Minister of Foreign Affairs has not witch-hunted and is absolutely not in the business of witch-hunting anybody, including Madam Wayne Cummins Wilson. It added that Ambassador Kemia did not have any prior knowledge about the reported incident at Liberia's permanent mission in New York involving Madam Wayne on Monday, November 6, 2023, as the minister has been preoccupied with intensive national and international engagements. A civil society group on the Ballon movement for the protection of integrity in Liberia has called on the Liberia Council of Churches, the National Traditional Council of Liberia, and all society organizations to probe into the issue of Masked Deville's involvement in electoral matters in Plibu Southern District, Maryland County. Recently, the Speaker of the 54th Legislature, Buford Chambers, complained to the National Elections Commission, hearing bold about the country's devil involvement in the October 10th general and presidential elections, in which Representative Kennedy Anthony Williams was declared winner of the polls. Addressing the press conference Wednesday in Monrovia, the group, through its executive director Paul Bordeaux, calls on the national traditional leaders and the Liberia Council of Churches to prop into the matter. According to Bordeaux, it is expedient that those institutions speedily prop into the issue and bring the unwanted situation to an end. Meanwhile, the MOPR executive director calls for a rerun in the district, pointing to the disruption of the voting process in the October 10th presidential and legislative elections. Barely one day following the endorsement of Unity Party standard-bearer Joseph Boyka, the standard-bearer of the grassroots development movement Edward Appleton, another group led by the national chairman of the GMR, has endorsed President George Weah for the second term election. GRM National Chairman John Soden said the endorsement of the Unity Party by the standard-bearer was unilaterally, and as such, his statement is annulled. Addressing the press conference in Monrovia, Chairman Soden claimed that the vision and aspiration of the GRM are in line with those of the ruling CDC. The Grassroots Development Movement National Chairman is therefore calling on all of its supporters to vote President Weah in the November 14, 2023 runoff elections in the country. Contrary to an endorsement statement read by the chairman of the New Liberia Party, the standard-bearer of the party, Reverend Dr. Joshua Tom Turner, and Vice Standard-bearer Dr. Q. Soman Pegard have distanced the party from endorsing the candidacy of former Vice President Joseph Yuma Boyka of the Unity Party. NLP Chairman Richard Hove was among several other political institutions and individuals that endorsed the presidential bid of former Vice President on Wednesday, November 8, 2023, at an elaborate occasion held at the party headquarters. During the endorsement ceremony, Chairman Hove told the gathering of UP officials and partisans that his action was sanctioned by the party. But contrary to Chairman Hove's action, standard-bearer Turner and Vice Standard-bearer Pegard a few minutes later issued a statement in which they divulged the party with said action. Reverend Dr. Turner and Pegard pointed out that Chairman Hove's decision was clandestinely done, and as such, it did not represent the view of the executive committee and the entire membership of the party. According to the NLP top officials, after a series of consultations following the final announcement of the results of the October 10 presidential and legislative election, the party resolved to remain neutral in the ensuing 14 November presidential runoff election. Based on this, the NLP maintained that the action orchestrated by Hove was secretly done to certify President greed in the face of gross disrespect for the political institution. Deputy Minister for Fiscal Affairs at the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, Samora Wodokoli, has described endorsement from the collaborating political party and the All Liberian Party as two major endorsements the CDC government has received thus far. Appearing on state radio Wednesday, Wodokoli expressed that the Constitution of Liberia states that the president should be fit physically and mentally to govern the country, and that the political trajectory of the surrounding political event has to do with the mover and shaker of the party. Deputy Minister Wodokoli further that President George Weah has done tremendously well. As such, he deserves a second chance due to the construction of road infrastructure and electricity in the country. According to him, President Weah has impacted the lives of ordinary parents through the payment of wide fees and free tuition, thus assuring Liberians that the CDC-led government will continue to ensure that Liberians understand the developmental initiatives of the government. Maryland County Senator-elect Blebo Brown has assured President George Weah an overwhelming victory from the southeastern region of Liberia in the upcoming run of presidential election. Speaking upon his arrival in Maryland County Tuesday, the Maryland County Senator-elect said, though President Weah won the southeastern region in the first round, they are bound on ensuring a massive win in the region compared to the first round. Brown disclosed that fear has led the opposition to spread out in the southeastern region to lessen the vote of President Weah, something he said they will not be allowed, a reason he is coronated in the county and the region alleged to vigorously campaign for the Liberian president. The recently elected senator of Maryland County added that his first target is his constituencies and he will leave no stone unturned in ensuring that President George Weah receives a resounding victory come November 14. A prominent citizen of Sano County, Augusta Campbell, has urged citizens of Southeastern not to listen to any misleading information in the public of President Weah, dismissing them after his re-election. Speaking Tuesday on Freedom News, Ahmed said there are some defeated politicians in the southeastern region deceiving the public that President Weah will dismiss those leaders in various towns and villages. Augusta emphasized that 90% of people in the southeast voted for President Weah during the first round of the 2023 election, and they will do the same in the second round, adding that he wants everyone to work accordingly and vote for the Liberian leader. According to Campbell, President Weah is a peacemaker and a man who believes in his words. For the past 6 years as the president, he always sustained the peace of the nation, and now politicians are carrying misleading information. Augusta, however, noted that his people trusted and believed in him, so he will use every means of opportunity to campaign and make the people get the rightful information. A resident of Electoral District 4, Lofa County, Madam Nessie Cannon, says she doubted former Vice President Joseph Boyka winning the November 14 presidential runoff election. Speaking in an exclusive interview with a reporter in the district, Madam Kennedy said the former vice president will not win the runoff election due to his alleged failure to carry on some developments in the county. According to her, Boyka served for 12 years under former President Eli Johnson Sirleaf as vice president without any major development in the county. She named the payment of wire fees and connectivity and electricity, among other things, as some developments the current president has undertaken in the country. Meanwhile, Manakena disclosed that recently the Weah administration is planting light poles across the county. As such, citizens should see the need to vote President Weah in the runoff election. Now to the very last development, a defeated senatorial candidate in Riverside County in the October 10, 2023 presidential and legislative election has declared support for the second term of President George Weah. Gabriel Buchanan Smith, who served 2 terms as representative of Grand Bassa County, said President Weah must be given his second term in order to complete the many projects and begin new ones. Addressing the press conference in Monrovia, Mr. Smith called on all of his supporters to join him in making President George Weah victorious in the presidential runoff election scheduled for November 14, 2023. He said he and his supporters will go out to campaign for President Weah in Rivers and Grand Bassa counties. Well, we'll take a very short break as we rejoin Elizana.
Thanks to Stephen Compton for the news bulletin. He returns later on with the foreign developments. But just joining us, you're listening to Freedom Evening News Basket for the 5 minutes presentation of news from Liberia and across the world. One of the top developments we carry this evening, Foreign Affairs Ministry reviews and terms when Wayne Cummins Wilson's video claims making rounds on social media as false and politically motivated. Let's now bring you the actual voices behind the news, beginning with this development. The grassroots development movement has officially endorsed the standard bearer of the Unity Party in the presidential runoff election scheduled for November 14 in Liberia. The movement's standard bearer, Edward Appleton, said he believed to be kingmaker, said the decision to endorse Joseph Boakai was based on a popular mandate. Appleton made a disclosure at the endorsement program organized by the grassroots movement at its headquarters in Congotown on Tuesday.
The decision to endorse is from the belly of the grassroots development movement. We voted, and after our votes, 70% of the votes went in favor of the Unity Party. In other words, the party voted unanimously for the Unity Party, and as a leader who believes in democratic principles and equal participation, I am here to work the bill without objection. In this, we must first of all appreciate the members of the grassroots development movement, whose moral principles could not be shaken, but they prefer to see Liberia take shape for the general good of masses. Standard bearer, we endorse you today. We ask that our ideology and principles along with you. So, we all know that ideology will change with time and event, but principles don't. The Unity Party said the stand for is aligned with our party's agenda. We live in Liberia and I strongly believe that our best days are yet to come. There are some who doubt our existence and believe our votes were illegitimate, but today some of those are calling us heroes, are the real champions. And it's evident that we live in a very rich country in terms of resources.
Remarking during the program, former Vice President Joseph Boakai welcomed Appleton and the grassroots development movement for choosing the country over riches. The Unity Party standard bearer used the occasion to assure the Liberian people of his desire to improve education, health, and the economy if elected president in the November 14 presidential runoff election in Liberia.
This country has gone through a lot. For most of you, you have come to believe that the life you live now are normal. They are not normal. Everybody here deserves effort. I want to say to Appleton today, maybe for some of you, you don't know. To make such a decision, there are a lot of things that go behind the scenes. They have bigger pockets that want to take you over. There are people who will threaten you. But Appleton has shown us that he's a great Liberian. He's a nationalist, one who prefers his country above material things. And that's what brings a lot of respect from him. We want to say to you who accept the honor, I want to say to you, you are the people of this country to another level. Our country needs people of integrity.
He is Ambassador Joseph Boakai of the Unity Party. Meanwhile, following the endorsement of the Unity Party Standard Bearer Joseph Boakai by the Standard Bearer of the Grassroots Development Movement of Edward Appleton. Another group led by the National Chairman of the Grassroots Development Movement has endorsed President George Weah for the second term in the runoff elections. The National Chairman of GDM, John Soni, said the endorsement of the Unity Party by the Standard Bearer was unilateral, and as such, his statement is null and void. Addressing the press conference in Monrovia, Chairman Soni claimed that the vision and aspirations of GDM are in line with those of the CDC.
First of all, we must thank the Liberian people for the confident repose in us and the acceptance of our messages. The Mighty Coalition for Democratic Change is a grassroots party with whom we share the same philosophy, ideology, and goals. We also are of the convictions that our interest is best served when aligned with the CDC's. We hereby pledge our support for the mighty CDC and are resolved to apply our campaign methods in soliciting support and votes for them. We call upon all our members and those who voted for us to please give their votes and love to the CDC and work with us to continue the development of our motherland. And this is our standpoint as an executive committee and executive body, and then all the representatives from the various counties. We want to say this is our standpoint, and we thank you very much.
John Soni is the national chairman of the Grassroots Development Movement. They're speaking. Deputy Minister for Fiscal Affairs at the Ministry of Finance and Development, Planet Samuel Wolokoli, has described endorsements from the collaborating political parties and the All Liberian Party as 2 million endorsements the CDC has received so far. Appearing on State Radio Wednesday, Wolokoli expressed that the Constitution of Liberia states that the president should be fit physically and mentally to govern the country, and that the political trajectory of the surrounding political events has to do with the mover and shaker of the party. The Minister Wolokoli followed that President George Weah has done tremendously well. As such, he deserves a second chance due to the construction of road infrastructure, construction of roads and electricity in the country.
Very confident that we will win these elections. But one of the major endorsements we've had is the CPP, the Collaborating Political Party. We have not gotten the endorsement of the CPP, we have been worried. Since the CPP announced its support, 2 major endorsements, all of the endorsements are important, but 2 major endorsements that straw the chairman's back have got to do with the CPP and the All Liberian Party, the Coalition for Democratic Change. That Vice President Boakai is sick. We said it. We mentioned the ill health, and somebody said, why can't you keep talking about the health of the former Vice President? We talk about the health of the former Vice President because we are concerned about the well-being of one who will be elected as president. The Constitution of the Republic of Liberia requires the President of the Republic to be fit mentally and fit physically to govern the effect of the country. That's why the constant trajectory of the events surrounding political party has got to do with those who are the movers and shakers of the political. 2 years ago in the dry season, it became a debate. The availability of electricity to the people and the construction of roads, infrastructure in the country continues to remain a binding constraint for economic development and economic growth. We are addressing that. We are beginning to see evidence of the availability of the requesting for the payment of WAS fees will not come to me. The payment, my fees was done on the package of ordinary pens and gardens in Liberia.
He's Deputy Minister for Fiscal Affairs at the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, Samura Wodokali. Maryland County Senator-elect Gebo Brown has assured President George Weah an overwhelming victory from the southeastern region of Liberia in the coming runoff presidential election on November 14. Speaking upon his arrival in Plebo, Maryland County Tuesday, the Maryland County Senator-elect said though President Weah won the Southeast in the first round, they are bent on ensuring the massive win in the region compared to the first round. Brown disclosed that fear has led the opposition to spread out in the Southeast to lessen the vote of President Weah, something he said they will not be allowed. The reason he is currently in the county and the region at large to vigorously campaign for the president.
But to ensure that President Weah's victory in this county is sustained, opposition is aware that the Southeast is going to decide this runoff election because Southeast is going to vote as a bloc massively for the president. So they have come in the region, spreading themselves to make sure to reduce the winning margin of the president. So I have come to boost on the efforts of people on the ground to make sure that the support of the president in this county and even the region is sustained. And so I'm here. I'm going to start immediately as I test ground. We have places to go. I'm working hard for today. Tomorrow I hope to work in Plebo. Over the weekend I'm hitting the interior part of this county, Callaway, Barrow, to rally support for this president. The opposition should not have a vote in our county. I'm going to inform all of my people that our support should be sustained. The president should be voted for massively again, not just in Maryland, but the whole of the Southeast. Let us prove to the rest of Liberia that this president in the Southeast and that he means well for us, not just because, but the future of this region is in the administration of President George. I have my own support base. The first strategy is to rally my own support base. That's the first thing I need to do. The second thing is to attract those that run against us or who have similar views. People who have been supporting the president but have some disenchantments with other processes, we bring down both. So we're going to reach out. The whole strategy is reaching out to others. We will avoid complacency. We will not believe that because President Weah was voted for in the first round, so we think that all is well. No, we're going to do away with complacency, and that's what I want to tell all of our people, all Marylanders. We should not be complacent thinking that all is well. So we want to make sure that our victory is sustained, not interrupted. The president must have the resounding victory.
Gebo Brown is the Senator-elect of Maryland County. They're speaking well, folks. The time is exactly 7:30. There's John Thomas Kojo Rolak for the latest in the world of sports.
With barely a few days to Liberia's opening World Cup qualifying game at the SKD Sports Complex, the newly appointed chairperson of the Club President Association of Liberia, Chris Jibril, is calling on followers of football to support the national team of Liberia in its quest to secure a qualification in the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifier. Attendance at recent Lone Star home games have been poor, with many fans perceiving in their mind that the players are mostly involved in getting money and representing the country. Liberia will host Malawi at the Sami Kanto Sports Complex on 17 November and 20 against Equatorial Guinea in a double 2026 World Cup qualifier. For speaking to a team of journalists recently, the Liberian football stakeholders declare his intention to contest the presidency of the Liberia Football Association in 2026 election, said he is counting on fans to showcase their talent and support the national team. According to Jibril, if the team is to qualify for their first World Cup finals, Liberians must go to the stadium in large number to support the country. Because Jibril said, as part of engagement by the Club President Association of Liberia earlier this week, they will begin rallying Liberians by getting a PA system where it will be taking the community to call on football lovers to cheer the national team. At the same time, Chris, we want players of the national team to do their best in showing gratitude to Liberian football fans by getting the win. Liberia Football Association Upwards Women League Club President, Senior Female Professional President, MS Stitches Glasgow, has blamed Liberia falling stand in football due to bad policies and poor management of football programs by the local football house. The football stakeholders were speaking to journalists recently in Monrovia, where he said From 1990 to 2002, Liberia football was on a rightful path, but as it stands, due to alleged poor administrative management by the football house under Mustafa Raji, the image of football had dropped to the lowest level. The Liberian football stakeholders also alleged that the poor management of football by the Raji administration is one of the many problems leading to the collapse of football, and said she wants football stakeholders to join hands in moving Liberian football forward. Liberia FIFA batch referee Hassan Kone, and along with 2 other officials, have been suspended by the Liberia Football Association for 3 rounds of games. The local football housing release issue Wednesday said Hassan Kone, Maury Allison, and Kofado were all suspended for importing wrong data into the competition management system. According to the release issue, Kone reported that the Orange First Division match between Madibaro and Heavy 11 and the 6-2 instead of 6-3 at the Doyle Wooden Sports Stadium in Buchanan, Grand Bassa County on the 22nd day of October. His report, according to the local football house, a senior player Fred Livingston, who was one of the scorers, thereby reducing Fred goals on the scoring chart by the local football house. Allison, a Class A referee, reported that MPA Angus defender Daniel Weah received a red card in the 49 minutes instead of Christian Kakpara in the 49 minutes during an Orange First Division match with Fipo FC at the Tusafi on Saturday. As for Doe, who is also a Class A referee, he reported that FC Calon Jesse Freeman received a direct red card instead of 2 yellow cards in the 49 minutes and the 81 minutes of a game between Leska FC and FC Calon at the Samikando Sports Complex practice pitch. The Orange National Second Division League continued today with a couple of action taking place across the country. Yeah, full reports. Pash FC suffered a 1-0 defeat to Samurai FC. Joint Professional were whipped 2-1 by Blackman Warriors. Last FC got a 4-2 win over the Church Boys of Jubilee FC. Philadelphia FC suffered a 2-1 win to league leader Shatter FC. Wurugisi FC got a 2-1 win over Discovery FC. Nima United were pinned by Nima FC 2-1. Sano MPA got a 3-0 win over Makibi FC. And Martin Fosso and Ganafi FC played to a golden draw. And away from home in the world of sports, Liverpool and Egypt forward Mohamed Salah want world leaders to come together to prevent further slaughtering of innocent souls in the wake of the fatal blast at Gaza hospital last month. Salah's statement comes in response to the Israel-Gaza conflict. According to him, it should set the tone for sports moving forward, according to a report on the BBC. And Mohamed Salah and Liverpool team made of it a full men's squad are expected to jet down in Liberia early next week for a World Cup qualifying game against Sierra Leone. The Sierra Leone national team will be using the SKD Sports Complex after the Saka Stadium Sports Stadium came under a serious problem by the Confederation of African Football banning the stadium. According to reports from Freetown, Sierra Leone, the Sierra Leone Football FA is currently working on the Saka Stadium Sports Stadium, but as it stands, the SKD Sports Complex in Liberia will be used as the home ground for the Sierra Leone national team. And that's it for the Passion of Life Sports.
Thomas Kujorolak with the latest in the world of sports. Let's continue with more developments this evening. Ahead of the run of presidential elections slated for November 14, several citizens across the country have resolved to retain President George Weah for his many developments carried out during his first term in office as president and for keeping the peace of the country. Our reporter Patricia Chie has been talking with those citizens in our reports.
According to Liberians who are eager to see President Weah re-elected on November 14, they are excited to re-elect the Liberian leader comes November 14 has the way of appreciating him for being developmental oriented, adding that he is a man who fulfills his promises. They also claim that the president has planned to do more after his re-election as president of the country. The citizens said President Weah was the first president to bring about the free tuition policy and the payment for the WISE fee, including several developments that are more beneficiary to ordinary Liberians. They think President Weah has one of the best president Liberians could ever have, and voting him for the second term is not regrettable.
He is a president of development, and he president of promoting his people for good things like paying wire fees. From the day I begin to know myself, I haven't heard a president paying wire fee. When we inaugurate him, not even winning, but he already has won. So when we inaugurate him, he talk about free education. I get my grandchildren that starting elementary and he said from elementary up will be free education. So I am very much happy that one of the reasons I'm voting for him and his development, I want him finish it. I want to put him there for another 6 years. The project that he never ended, like carrying development in the rural area, like the southeastern, my home, Norfolk County, I want him carry the car road there.
So I already know now what president will stay carrying Josh Manning we are. You guys see development, like Taratan fee, the way it used to be, you can see how it looking now. Like for example, the spring fee, local how it used to be, and look at the president now. The Barry, go there, go see Miami. And the reason I carry him back, and he gave me, and he promised our children free education. We want somebody that able to develop the nation. We want someone that will sleep on our country. The thing I want you to do, you already doing it. So I got nothing much to tell you. And I tell you, thank you for the well done, the things that he's doing in this. I want a great president tomorrow do it. I'm very proud of him. I want to carry him back because he promised uplift in the second round, and I know he will do it. The man of his word now. Anything he said he will do it. When he was coming into you saying he will develop the nation, and I want him doing.
However, Liberians are granting up to vote overwhelmingly on November 14th for the presidency. But whether George Weah be retained or there will be a new government to be headed by Joe Biden coming into being is what every Liberian is hoping for. Reporting for Freedom News from Monrovia, I'm Patricia Chiu.
A resident of Electoral District 4, Norfolk County, Madam Nancy Kenneth, says she doubts former Vice President Joseph Boakai winning the November 14 presidential runoff election. Speaking in an exclusive interview with a reporter in Electoral District 4, Norfolk County, Madam Kenneth said the former Vice President will not win the runoff election due to his failure to carry on some developments in the county. According to her, Boakai served for 12 years under former President Eli Justice Sadiq as Vice President without major development in the county and the country at large, something according to her the current president has surpassed in doing.
Boakai will find it difficult because we didn't see no development for him in the country here or in the country to say that yes, this is one Boakai thing. I have people that are thinking the way I'm thinking, and I've been talking to people. First, they see here we started, we say we are mother for we are. Started before people get ready. Say some people are scared to talk, and more people say so they can't know that they part of us.
Have you voted for Weah when Weah was contesting against Boakai? Who did you vote for?
I vote for Weah. Who I will vote for? He my pa. I know that he will do it for me.
What are some of the things that Weah is doing that? Because the whole of Norfolk County, many people believe that Weah is not doing well. And you say Boakai will find it difficult on November 14th. So what are some of the things that will really Boakai to find it difficult that you think Weah is doing?
As the way I said, Boakai spent 12 years. Boakai, they didn't know here, they be talking to Boakai, they didn't tell shit. He didn't tell shit. For his own country, he didn't tell shit. We are sat down, I've seen it. Furthermore, we are thinking about our children. We are the poor people now.
How?
As the way they was here, and for me, my daughter was attending. Yeah, the other one here, and I get money. I can try her at least to back up people. Well, I'm not get money to say I pay was fee as the way the money claim me up. But we have done that one from over my head. Okay. My daughter now that graduate from here, that one.
Madam Nancy Kenneth is a resident of Electoral District 4, Norfolk County, there speaking. The United Methodist Human Rights Monitor has described the cross-carpeting of politicians' endorsement by some political parties for either of the two finalists in the presidential runoff election as a scheme to gang up to exploit the Liberian people. The Monitor's program director, Jefferson Knight, said for former enemies to team up purposely to take state power is a ploy by politicians to play with the money the country will generate through the taxes by the ordinary people.
So for me, I see that as political gimmicks where people will do things because they'll call it quote unquote, oh, that politics in the name of politics and what have you. But I have not seen sincerity on the part of these leaders, these political leaders, honesty and sincerity. So I drew my conclusion that these guys are not honest. Most of the time they will say, oh, that politics, a political statement, a political statement. So lies and deception. If you're a politician, you can become a politician and be straightforward and make things happen to improve the lives of the people. And that's a big jumping from one place to another and what have you, and claiming of politics and what have you. So most of the Liberian people are disappointed. But again, that's a fundamental right based on the Constitution to support who you want to support. It's constitutional. But if you look at some of the records, the history of some of these guys who had the bottom of the way they insulted people, deliberate on the radio and called names and at the end of the day, they're giving support. Morally, people will say, oh, but in politics, there is nothing called morality. Sometimes you hear politicians talking about that. So the disappointment all over the place. The only thing we push in here is for peace, because the Constitution gives rights. You can support this man and say, I don't want to be out supporting your enemy or this and that. The only thing we want peace in the midst of everything. That campaign will be intensifying about next week in different communities from street to street. Meet in Monserrado, because this is the hot spot. So it's called the Grassroots Action for Peace, GMAP. And the objective of that is to conscientize the Liberians, both young people, old people, everyone, foreigners, and all the different people in the Republic, to ensure that we sustain this peace, we man it, we protect it, we cherish it, and nothing to destroy it. So that is the message.
Javasi Knight is the program director of the United Methodist Human Rights Monitor. They are speaking. Well, folks, let's rejoin Stephen Canton for the foreign development.
A man has been shot dead in Nigeria's northern Uche state while a so-called bulletproof charm or gun medicine was being tested on him by a traditional healer. The healer, who allegedly fired the shot with a locally made gun, has been arrested, along with 2 other suspects, while other suspects are on their run. The test on the efficiency of the gun medicine occurred on 43-year-old villager Muhammadu Ali, Superintendent Wakin added. Police rushed the scene as soon as they heard the shooting and took Ali to hospital, but he was pronounced dead on arrival, the police spokesman added. It warned the public against being used as cotton fodder. The suspect will be charged in court after investigation I concluded, the superintendent added. Well, Ellis, is back to you.
Stephen Canton with the foreign development. He's taking us home on tonight's presentation of Freedom Evening News Basket. But just before to leave a few headlines of major stories we carried this evening. Foreign Affairs Ministry refused and names Wayne Cummings Wilson's video claims making rounds on social media as false and politically motivated. Edward Appleton's endorsement of Unity Party Standard Bearer Joseph Boakai shows division in the grassroots development movement, as the national chairman of the GDM and other executive members endorsed President George Weah for the second term in the run of elections. Movement for the protection of integrity in Liberia calls on the National Traditional Council of Liberia and all civil society organizations to probe Max Devil's involvement in electoral matters in Plibo, Sonoke District, Meridian County. Away from home, Nigerian men killed in text on gun medicine, according to the BBC. We'd love to say many thanks to our reporters, correspondents, and those who have to make this presentation a success. Stephen Canton was of the news bulletin and the foreign development. Thomas Kudurulak with the latest in the world of sports. And this presentation was been read on Radio Hardware in Papa District, Grand Kitman County. Project sponsored by Crown Stoppers Liberia on the News and Current Affairs Department of Freedom Communications, incorporated with studios in Monrovia. Ibrahim Kamara Sada Control. My name is Alexander Nyenekin. I present it. Have a wonderful midweek.